an incredible women's match, and a well-formatted show. I'm John Rentham with my review of the United Wrestling Network's Primetime Live Episode 7 event. And man, 4 matches and it flew by, and that was really good shit. And they billboarded some stuff that we're going to see next week. So I think I'm going to keep buying this stuff until the product just completely nosedives, because the women's match alone was worth buying this entire package for. And that's not to knock any of the other matches that have happened. That's not to knock any of the other talents, but I'm a big Thunder Rosa fan, so you can guess what match I really enjoyed. But honestly, 4 matches, it flew by, well formatted, it was really good stuff. Promos with the various talents, including Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb, to billboard their NWA Women's Championship match tonight. We have Kevin Martinson versus Ray Rosas, Hollywood Heritage Heavyweight Championship match. Ray Rosas, I believe, was on a couple episodes of AEW Dark, and Kevin Martinson I had seen wrestle before, and I gotta say, both these guys did work really hard. They took it seriously. They delivered some good impactful maneuvers. Kevin did do a nice crossbody, actually really good height on that. He then dominated for a bit. Rosas came back with some good groundwork. Kevin then, did a move where, fortunately, the ramp broke his fall. It might have broken his back also. That was pretty goddamn stiff. And then Rosas focuses on the back. He misses an elbow drop off the top. Neck breaker on the ropes. And Ray wins after a back cracker. So that was good stuff. And, both men really took it to each other. And it was a good championship match to open the show. And then we get, the announcers running down the card. And Aaron Stevens shows up saying he was robbed of the national championship. He will get revenge. Also says something about going after tag team championship gold. The question mark will be there at some point. He's working on getting them back there, from Monrovia, Karate, for those that, watch NWA, And then he beats up some guy, just beats up a staff member. I also want to know who the purple-haired mask girl was, because, well, she was quite fetching, wasn't she? Moving on. The Bodega, Danny Limelight versus Mr. Popo. Papo. I think it's Popo. I always think Mr. Popo, though, and if you've seen DBZ Abridged, you know what I'm talking about. Versus the Real Money Brothers, Big Money Clutch, and R&B Surge. Sorry if I mispronounced that. My apologies. I'm not too familiar with these guys. Danny Limelight, if he's not a world champion or a champion of some variety in a company by next year, I will be goddamn shocked. The guy's fucking tremendous on New Japan Strong. He was on AEW Dark, and he's just all over the goddamn place and really goddamn good. I gotta say, this match wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't offensive at all. The tag work was fine. The Real Money Brothers, I guess, were the heels here. Danny Limelight got beat up for quite a bit, and then made the tag to the big man. And then eventually Danny gets the win, and it was fine. It was the least of the matches on the show, but it was not bad at all. And next week, Redbeard, the former Eric Rowan, will arrive. And then Stickinson says, bring your absolute best because I'm going to eat you. That's cannibalism. Why the fuck would you want to eat somebody? And now we have Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb NWA Women's Championship match. In all seriousness, that is not sarcastic clapping. That's fucking tremendous. If I had an entire audience with me, if I was capable of forming multiple arms like I was Goro from Mortal Kombat, I would clap more. This was fucking fabulous. This was right up there with what Thunder Rosa and Priscilla Kelly did, which I still say was just a little bit better. Just a little bit. And that's not knocking what Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa did here. It was great veteran versus... And Thunder Rosa is world traveled. I'm not trying to say she's a rookie at all, but Serena Deeb has been in wrestling for 15 fucking years. If not 15, 16 years, something like that. And even taking some time off to just coach at the Performance Center in WWE, she hasn't missed a step at all. Really world-traveled. Great work by both. This is one of my favorite matches of the year. That's the one thing. I pick on some things in wrestling, including a few things I've seen in this promotion, and AEW, and WWE, and New Japan, and even the older stuff that I watch. But as far as 2020... yes, there are some pitfalls and everything, but there's been a lot of really good wrestling, especially on the women's side. And Thunder Rosa has been involved in 3 of my favorite matches of the year. And Serena Deeb, her work is just fucking impeccable. She's signed to AEW. She's doing some really good shit. And I think after this, I think Thunder Rosa is going to AEW or something, because I don't know how a major company could not want to sign her and could not want to feature her. You want to watch more of her when you see her in the ring. She's just that goddamn good. All I can really say about this, because I can't, encapsulate everything that I loved about this. It's a big fight field. These two are absolute gold. The submission work is great. Everything was crisp, smooth, and laid in. The strikes are great. Neck breaker on the ramp, ouch. Gato clutch variation. I'm watching a little bit too much New Japan, so I'm going to reference some, moves that may not be called that over here. Big targeting of the neck by Serena Deeb, and then, just more, great action. Thunder Rosa targets the arm. Serenity Log, we had a Dragon Sleeper stretch where Thunder Rosa just yelling. Strikes were very late in. Thunder Rosa just, great on the mat and in the air. Drop kick into the ropes. Ouch, that looks stiff. A Northern Lights for 2. Deeb, is holding her neck. Suddenly, I want to continue. Doing a really good stopping. Bit of a rest spot right there. Then Deeb targets the knee, gets a figure 4 on there. Really good stuff. That gets reversed. That was a really good spot. And it looked like Thunder Rosa might get the victory, but her knee was targeted. Quick delay, just a brief delay, and then the dreaded roll-up. 1, 2, 3. New NWA Women's Champion, Serena Deeb. That was good shit. That was really, really good stuff. These women deserve, again, a round of goddamn applause. I don't think either of them are watching this. They have better things to do. But if you have not watched this, if you have not watched Thunder Rosa versus Priscilla Kelly from, I want to say, episode 2, please check that out. Well worth it. I gotta say, even with some of the people I'm not that familiar with, and even with some of the match quality maybe not being up to my, standards, and maybe it's just because I'm not familiar with them, PrimeTime Live has over-delivered. They have done some great stuff, bringing in some great talents, and the women's matches have been goddamn great. Thunder Rosa, Serena Deeb, again, round of goddamn applause. Deeb then cuts a promo. I told you I was coming, or it was coming, I was going to win. She mentions Mildred Burke. She will defend this title with honor. Good stuff. Peter Avalon versus Chris Stickinson, first round match in the United Wrestling Network's Heavyweight Championship Tournament. Avalon kept trying to cheat, targeted the knee when there was a ref bump, and Dickinson eventually got the win. I'm not trying to blow off this match, but they should have reversed it. They should have had this match on before Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb, and then had the women close the goddamn show. And Dickinson has been a freaking beacon of light as far as, the stuff he's done on the show. And Avalon did show the great heel work that he could do. But eventually, it was a big old lariat, 1, 2, 3, and Dickinson got the victory to move on. So next week, Redbeard versus Watts, Fred Rosser versus Carl Fredericks, Mike Bennett versus, the kind of concussed one, Davey Boy Smith Jr., and you know what I'm talking about. Maybe not the best, because he sees red, if you know what I'm talking about. But as far as in the ring, his dad was better. But those are the rest of the matches in the first round of the tournament. And Leo Rush is making his debut, and Heather Monroe will be back in action. Okay, hey, you know what? It was a good episode that was capped off by a great women's championship match that should have main evented. But honestly, it was great shit. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.